Most people assume strength declines with age, and to a small extent, that's true. However, at 48, I feel better than I ever did in my 30s when I wasn't working out at all. So even after breaking my arm in a car accident 4 months ago, I still came right back to lifting. So I wanted to explain why I started this channel and why strength matters to me so much. So I didn't actually grow up as an athlete. My parents didn't have a lot of money, so I wasn't able to do any extracurricular activities, although I would have loved it. So my first experience with lifting didn't start till I was maybe age 19. Um, I was just having fun doing the bodybuilding type workouts that were so popular in the 90s, popularized by magazines like Muscle and Fitness. There was all types of bodybuilding magazines back then. And the reason why the magazines were popular was because the internet had first started. We didn't have access to looking up anything we wanted at any time. So a lot of us gym goers at the time would pick up these magazines. And to my surprise, my bench press and my squat went way up, more than any, I've seen any other women do in the gyms around me. So I loved it, and I started thinking I wanted to compete in powerlifting. However, powerlifting consists of three lifts: bench press, squat, and deadlift. And at the time, I didn't know anybody that did deadlifting. It wasn't a popular exercise in the gym in the 90s unless you were a powerlifter. And back then, we didn't have access to looking up anything we wanted at any time. So to do something like that, you'd have to meet somebody that would show you how to do it. And I didn't know anyone that did that. So I kind of lifted a little bit less, got involved with, I was going to college full time, I was working full time, so it was pretty busy. And then by the time I finished my college, which was pretty late because I went to school my entire 20s, around 30, I completely had stopped working out with the birth of my son. So I always had this dream of doing powerlifting. And so when I turned 45, I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn to deadlift. I'm going to compete. This is what I always wanted to do. So, and as an older lifter at 45, I really went into it not knowing what to expect. I was assuming that probably I'd be a lot, less strong than I was when I lifted when I was younger. I didn't know what the capabilities would be at this age because society tells you, that you're going to be kind of weak and fragile. You're in decline. That's what society has a tendency to tell you. But I remember meeting one of my friends at the gym, Debbie. She's a lot older than me, and she was lifting weights that I wanted to lift also. So I know that seeing individuals in the older age groups helps others to think to themselves, okay, I could do this too. So what changed after I started lifting at 45 was that it gave me so much more than just going to the gym and lifting. Of course, I want to look good, but that's kind of a byproduct. Really, what I want is strength. Other things that it taught me was discipline, consistency, resiliency. That's really what I learned from the lifting the last 3 years. So I'm still recovering from my broken arm, but I've recovered from multiple things in the last 3 years. And each time I would work to regain my strength through my lifting, and I would go back pretty much to how I was before whatever occurred happened. For example, I had to have two surgeries, one about a year after I started lifting, and the second one another year after I started, a hernia surgery and an ovary surgery, which were actually products of one another. And each time I went back to lifting, there was a ramp up period, and I ended up regaining the same strength back. So even at an older age, or some people think it's older, depending on who you speak to, I regain my strength back. So lifting has actually affected every area of my life. It's affected my business, my engineering, and also I started doing martial arts again. I did martial arts in my 20s, and I loved it, and just got so busy with finishing my PhD, having my son, that I kind of stopped doing it. And I think my lifting has actually helped me to start doing it again because truthfully, I train martial arts 4 to 5 days a week, and I don't feel any soreness, any pain from it. And I'm pretty sure it's because of my lifting. So when I broke my arm in my car accident, I knew that I was going to recover from this the same way I've done other things. One thing that was shocking to me after my car accident, though, was, I was in a hard cast and I was surprised at how quickly I lost strength. That kind of boggled my mind because I was training so much even on the day that my car accident occurred. And just hard casting my arm, it was only in a hard cast for, I don't know, it was only 4 or 5 weeks. It wasn't that long, but just because I couldn't move my entire arm, it was so weak and causing so much pain. The muscles were already atrophying. It's incredible. So what struck me was that if somebody that's working out constantly immobilizes their arm for just 4 to 5 weeks, imagine what older people are doing to themselves, not intentionally, but by sitting there and not moving. I mean, it only took 4 to 5 weeks for my arm to start to be completely dysfunctional, and I'm still trying to rehab it. And of course, I'm rehabbing the bone right now as well. But there was muscles even in my shoulder that I'm sure are compensating for my arm muscles, but the whole arm is needing to be rehabbed. So it kind of is mind-boggling to me what is happening to a human's body if like you're an older person and you're sitting around for 10, 20, 30 years. Our bodies are just not made for that. So I kept going because I knew from my other surgeries and minor injuries that I would rebuild and recover and continue doing the things I love to do, lifting, martial arts. So what I've learned actually from this injury in particular is that strength matters so much as you age. Muscle matters, your bone density matters, and then of course this all creates confidence. I mean, not just in your what you could do physically, but in your everyday life. So this is actually why I started this channel. I wanted to document the rebuilding, the getting stronger, the recovery, the setbacks, and what real training actually looks like. My videos are not filtered. I'm not fitness influencer perfection. I am just an older mom. I have 2 kids that, takes my training seriously. And I do enjoy it. I have fun doing it. So I just want to say if you're rebuilding too, or if you're an older person, whether it's injury, age, fear, or starting late, I hope to inspire you through this channel. So I'm documenting my process, and please subscribe if you want to follow my rebuild. So I'm 48 years old and I'm rebuilding my strength.